What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to break down what happened with NIO towards the end of the day because we had a nice little run up, and we're also going to talk about Lucid because Lucid's starting to have a nice run up, and we're going to break that down for you in this video. But first, before we hop into that, we ask you guys to hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel, and it keeps you guys updated on all things stock market and everything that's going on in the news. But without further ado, let's give it some razzle dazzle and hop into it. So first things first, let's talk about NIO. Because it's been kind of trading like crap the last couple days. I should say the last 3 months. Let's not beat around the bush. It's been trash lately. But it's kind of starting to go up a little bit. It did seem we did adjust the wedge pattern there, yesterday during the live stream, and it seemed to kind of bounce off of that actually just before we adjusted it, and we're kind of starting to head up in that top direction. So I'm kind of excited about that. But really wasn't a whole lot of news about NIO today. They did open more swap stations, which really isn't nothing new anymore. It's just them just opening more swap stations. Yep. But there was a small article that they announced on Twitter about them offering autonomous driving as a service, and it's called it's just the NIO autonomous driving. So
for the ET7
or something like that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was just gonna say for the ET7, and yeah, it's like ADAAS. Just like how like battery as a service is BAAS, obviously. But just another monthly subscription thing. That's the way to make a lot more money these days. So that's just gonna be another revenue stream for them for at least the ET7 for the time being.
Right, exactly. And we expect that to come out sometime next year, which we all know, they've announced it multiple times. Sometime in the beginning of next year, we'll see that roll out. But let's go ahead and look at the stock, show you guys what's happened today, and pretty much let's talk about what's going on. So looking at the stock, we did close in the day at $37.51, up 1.13% on the day. It is down after, holy cow. That's down 3% after hours. Don't know what the heck just happened there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right because Fidelity is showing 0.16. So
yeah, that's weird. Let's just hope that's not right.
Google says 0.13, so I don't know what Weeble's doing right now.
Yeah, Weeble's kind of losing its marbles right now.
I am on NIO. Yeah, scared me there for a second.
Right. Well, anyways, it's showing that, but let's just hope it's not that. Yeah. But again, looking at the 5-day chart, we can see that we've had a nice little pullback here for quite some time over the last week, and starting today, today was really like the first decent positive day we've had in quite some time. It did run up midday, and then it pulled back, and now it kind of finished positive towards the end of the day.
Yeah,
so that's good to see.
Yeah, before that last blast off around 3 o'clock is when it started. Classic 3 o'clock power hour.
Right.
I thought here we go. We're gonna just finish negative for the day because it's Friday. Why break the trend really? So I thought we were gonna finish. I did a video on my separate channel, not trying to shout out my other channel or anything, but I thought we were gonna finish barely positive. Like I pretty much said, if we hold over 37 today, I'll be happy, especially because it's a Friday. Right. Because that is one of the supports. So I wasn't expecting that little blast off at the end, but I sure will take it, especially for a Friday, like I said, and with such low volume. Look at that volume, 29 million.
Right. So yeah, just under 30 million. Yeah. And like you said, the 37 being a support, we've bounced off it multiple times, and we did touch it this morning, and it broke us again back up above 37, which is where we obviously want to keep working in that direction. But let's look out a little bit farther. Year to date, we can see that it seems that like this 36.5, that 37 mark seems to be a solid support. I mean, we could even draw a new line here, and like it seems to be holding here decently. But it's putting us in that range, that 37 to 40 range. And, who knows 40s. When we're finally going to get above there. I know we have, we're only maybe 2 weeks out or so from the September numbers. So maybe that's going to be a little bit better. I know we're looking forward to that because August was a disappointment, but hopefully things can turn around for NIO. Again, this thing has been beaten down like crazy. It's down like 30% or so in the last 6 months. So it's not looking too good for NIO. But again, we say it in all of our videos. NIO is a long-term play. You got to be looking out years for NIO. This is not something that's going to build you a bunch of money here in the next, month. It's definitely going to be a long-term play. And I think 2022 is when we're really going to start to hopefully see this thing rip. And, we talked about that article the other day about, the possible chip shortage coming to an end as well in 2022. So fingers crossed things start to turn around for NIO. And
I think this month deliveries are going to, either kind of just make or break it kind of with the retail investors, because they're already getting, I can just tell in our comments, people are getting annoyed with NIO at this point. If they do, with the chip shortage issues, if they're really affected by it, this month deliveries, especially after they said that they had record orders last month, so we're kind of expecting a good delivery this month, but also with the chip shortage stuff, who knows? It could be 6,000 deliveries. I think that's gonna just hurt the, the reputation, I guess, of the retail investors. Opinions on NIO, I guess. I'm trying to find the words here, kind of struggling, but hopefully you know what I mean. It's just gonna hurt their perspective of NIO.
Exactly. And I think that's all going to come back once NIO starts to rip. You just wait. When NIO starts to rip, you're going to have people coming out of the closet saying, hey, NIO's the best stock
Kramer
ever.
will come out of nowhere. Buy NIO.
Yeah. Preach it.
Right. Well, he's been secretly
Kramer
loading up on the, on the side.
Right. He'll just say, load the boat. And everyone's going to sell because everyone does the opposite of what Kramer does. So, we'll wait and see what happens. And when anything breaking happens with NIO, we'll bring that to you guys. But let's go over and talk about Lucid, because Lucid had a killer day, up almost 10% at one point on the day. And it pulled itself back to 8.5%. But if we look at the last 5 days, look at this. This is Lucid. I mean, if we go back a month, it was at an all-time low of $16.12. I don't even know if that's an all-time low. I'm just making stuff up.
Probably not, but it's all-time lows since probably the merger thing.
Yes, since the merger, since that nice rip, this has been the all-time low since that huge rip we had back earlier in this year. But I mean, clearly we are onto something here, and I think a lot of this comes from a lot of the banks saying, "Hey, this is going to rip 50%." Some are saying, "Hey, it's going to go to $6." There's so much here. But I think between, what'd you say, Bank of America and Morgan Stanley?
Well, Morgan Stanley is the one that made it go down some, because there were the two banks, I forget the names, they came out and said $25 and $28 the very next day. Morgan Stanley came out and said, nah, $12, and that made it go down. And then I believe it was the very next day. I don't think it was the same day. It was probably the very next day. Bank of America said, nah, you're crazy. It's going to go up 50% from here. And they gave it a $30 price target. And since then, it has gone up, I believe right around now, we're a little over 20% from that low before that came out. And, every day it's been going up 5-6%. Besides today, it went up 8.5%, which is just insane. And like I was saying before the recording, I think it's a lot of it has to do with, obviously the price target, but a lot more banks and stuff are starting to cover the stock. A lot more media outlets are starting to write articles about it, so it's just getting a lot more exposure. And you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but I don't know if I could probably try to zoom in on it in the video, but go back to the 5. You can kind of see where the volume every day is getting more and more volume is what I'm trying to say. So
definitely.
So I think it's just just people are starting to pay more attention to it, and that's just gonna help the stock.
I 100% agree on that. Now, for me, I sold my Lucid position months ago, back when I lost about quite a bit on that rip, man. Like that really, I think that hurt a lot of not institutional, but a lot of retail investors when this thing ripped and then it sold off. I think that hurt a lot of people. A lot of people got a bad taste in their mouth with Lucid, me included. So I sold off a long time ago for the loss, and I haven't looked at it since, at least for buying purchases wise. But now that banks are starting to get a hold of it, I might, I should have bought. I kicked myself in the butt for this. I should have bought it at 16, but I didn't. It is what it is. But I think I might enter a position here once we see some kind of pullback. I'm definitely not buying now, considering this thing is ridiculously off the chain right now. The last month we're at 73 on the RSI.
Right. I talked about it before. I bought on that 16 and then sold, took some profits and then bought a little bit after that dip. You can see it went down 3%, bought a little bit more, and then I sold for another 8% or so profit. And then that's one of the risks you take when you trade it is, it could blast off. And that's, I sold my whole position in Lucid, and then that was the very next day is when it dropped, when Morgan Stanley said, nah, $12, and I was like, oh, okay, sitting pretty good. And then, you know,
Right.
I got distracted by work and everything, and I honestly didn't even look at Lucid very much the rest of that day. Should have, and that was a mistake, because that was normally when I would be buying back in, but I just missed it, so I missed out on this you know, rip. But you know, like I said, that's one of the risks you take when you're trading. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll get back in when it pulls back. Obviously, not buying right now. That would just, to me, not be the best move. But yeah, waiting for it to come back down, and I'm gonna be getting back into it some.
But it was kind of a crazy day in the market today, and that's really all we got to say, and that's going to wrap up this video. We hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, let us know in the comment section below, what are your guys' plans with some of these stocks, especially Lucid. We're going to start to cover Lucid and other stocks more. I think we're going to hop into Palantir, Lucid, and I believe SoFi. Yeah. So I think we're going to talk a little bit more about those, because those ones are ones to watch, considering all the price targets and the tip ranks, rankings, and ratings and everything that they have. So watch out for those videos. We're going to expand our horizons a little bit here on the Stock Dudes channel. But that's going to wrap it up. We hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff down below. It really helps support the channel. And drop a like, man. That's really going to help us out. If you like this content, hit that like button. That's all we ask. But also, we got links down in the description. We got one down there for the Stock Dudes merchandise, where you can get yourself a cool Stock Dudes t-shirt if you're interested in that. And we also got a link down there for the Patreon that gets you access to our Discord with our fantastic community over there. And yeah, where we chat daily about stocks and all that. So again, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.